All right, listeners, ready to dive into some side hustles.
I love it.
You guys gave us some really cool stuff this week.
Yeah.
From entrepreneur Mark Tilbury.
Yeah, 7 different side hustle ideas.
That he's done.
That's a lot.
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, it's a lot to get your head around.
Definitely.
So we're going to go through each of those in detail.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just jump straight in.
Yeah.
Tilbury's first side hustle is opening a retail store.
Okay.
I was so fascinated by the story of how he started his first shop.
Yeah.
It was a model shop.
Cool.
And he did it with basically no money.
Wow.
Like, imagine sleeping in your van on opening day.
Oh, wow.
Because if things don't go well, you can't even afford gas to go home.
That's dedication.
That's some serious hustle.
Serious hustle. But he does say, it's not just about that passion.
Right,
It's about having a smart strategy in place.
right.
He actually outlines 3 key steps for starting a retail store with hardly any capital.
Okay, let's hear them. So step 1 is to create a solid business plan.
Okay.
Like, it's the foundation,
Yeah.
For the blueprint for success. Exactly. It outlines everything you need.
Yeah.
Your target market, your financial projections, everything. And he says there's free templates online
Oh, nice.
to make it look really professional.
So you don't have to spend money on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that can really help you to secure funding.
Right. Because you need to look credible.
You need to look credible.
Yeah.
So the second thing that Tilbury emphasizes is customer research.
Ah.
It's so easy to get caught up in your own idea,
Oh, yeah.
but you really need to validate it.
Right?
He actually recommends working part-time in a similar business
That's a great idea.
to see, what people want.
Get a feel for it.
Get a feel for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they buying? What are they asking for?
I love that he recommends walking around with like a clipboard,
Yes.
talking to people, getting their opinions.
Getting their feedback. That direct interaction is invaluable.
For sure.
Okay, step number 3.
Right.
This is where a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs hit a roadblock.
Oh.
It's funding.
Yes.
Tilbury, he got his first loan by just relentlessly pitching his idea to back managers.
Wow.
But he also highlights the rise of crowdfunding,
Yeah.
which can be a game changer if you don't fit the mold for a traditional loan.
Totally. It opens a lot of doors.
Opens up a lot of doors, yeah. So that's the 3 steps.
So helpful. And I also love how Tilbury ranks all of his side hustles.
Yes.
He gives a score for time commitment, money needed, and ease of making $100 a week.
I like that.
Just to give people a general idea.
Yeah.
For the retail store, he gave it a 2 out of 5 for time,
Okay.
because initially it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
4 out of 5 for money, because there are those startup costs.
Makes sense.
But a 5 out of 5 for earning potential once you get things going.
I like it.
That's the dream.
Exactly. And what's exciting about the retail store is it can scale
Okay.
as your business grows.
Uh-huh.
You can hire people. You can create systems.
Delegate.
Delegate. Yeah,
You can work on your business instead of in your business.
exactly.
Yeah.
So even though that initial time commitment is high,
Yeah.
there's light at the end of the tunnel.
You can get to that passive income.
You can get to that passive income.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's move on to Tilbury's second side hustle,
Okay.
creating your own brand and product range.
Ooh. I like this one.
This one really speaks to the kid in all of us
Yes.
who dreamed of seeing their product on a shelf one day.
One day.
Tilbury actually flew to China to make his dream a reality.
Wow. That's impressive.
It just shows how far he was willing to go.
Definitely.
But what I really like is his framework for starting a brand, even if you aren't flying across the globe.
Right.
So walk us through it.
Okay, so step 1 is to pick a niche with lasting appeal.
Okay.
So you're not just chasing a trend.
Right, something with longevity.
Yeah, something with longevity.
Yeah.
You need to understand your target audience,
Mhm.
their passions, their pain points,
Yeah.
and create something that resonates with them. Okay, so step 1 is really about knowing who you are serving.
Exactly.
Tilbury says social media is such a useful tool for this.
Oh, yeah.
You can follow relevant Instagram pages, engage in conversations,
Yeah.
really immerse yourself in those online communities.
It's market research without the clipboard.
Exactly.
You're getting those real insights.
Love it.
Okay, step 2.
Let's hear it.
It's all about staying adaptable.
Okay.
He uses the example of the clothing brand Represent.
Okay.
Initially, they gained traction by riding the oversized clothing trend,
Oh, yeah.
but then they saw that fitness was on the rise,
Smart.
and they shifted towards that.
Makes sense.
It's about evolving with your audience.
Yeah, riding that wave, but also being ready to jump to the next one.
Exactly. The market's always changing.
For sure.
Okay, so step 3.
Okay.
This one's about building a culture around your brand.
Okay.
It's not just selling products.
Right.
It's fostering a community.
A sense of belonging.
Yeah, like shared values. Think of Spartan Race.
Oh, yeah.
It's become a movement. It's more than a race.
Way more than a race. People are pushing their limits. They're connecting with like-minded people.
They're having wedding ceremonies on the start line.
I heard about that.
It's wild.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's so much more than just the product.
It's an experience.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what Tilbury's ranking system says about building your own brand.
Okay.
He gives it 2 stars for time because it's an ongoing thing. You're always nurturing and growing that brand.
Right.
3 stars for money because there's initial investment for product development.
Uh-huh.
And then 4 or even 5 stars for earning potential once you have that hype and that engaged audience.
So you put in the work up front,
Yeah.
but the payoff can be huge.
It can be huge.
Yeah.
And now we're moving on to something completely different, eBay.
Ooh, eBay.
I love Tilbury's approach to this.
What's he doing?
He buys stock from failing shops,
Okay.
and then he resells it online.
Can you believe he tripled his money on his very first eBay sale?
See, that's Tilbury. He's got that knack for spotting an opportunity.
He does.
And his background in the model industry really gave him a unique advantage here.
Yeah.
He knew the products, he knew the businesses that might be struggling,
Yeah.
and he just saw that gap in the market.
Okay, I'm really interested to hear how he does it.
Yeah, okay, so his 3-step approach.
Lay it on me.
Step 1, he targets businesses run by older people who may not be as online savvy,
Okay.
so maybe they're struggling to adapt.
Yeah, times are changing.
Times are changing.
Yeah.
And then he proposes a solution that benefits everyone.
I love that.
He offers to sell their excess inventory, what's called dead stock, on eBay for them on a commission basis.
Oh, so smart.
So they clear out their stock.
Yeah.
And he earns a percentage without having to spend any money up front.
So brilliant.
It's a win-win.
It is.
He's helping these businesses out and building his eBay business at the same time.
Yeah.
And once he earns some profit, he recommends buying directly from suppliers.
Okay.
So then you have more control
Right.
over your products.
Yeah.
You can really start scaling things up.
So you go from being a reseller to more of a brand yourself.
Exactly.
I like it.
It's a good progression.
It is. So what does Tilbury's ranking system say about the eBay hustle?
All right. So for time commitment, he gives it 3 stars.
Okay.
Maybe even 4, because once you've got it set up,
Yeah.
orders can come in while you sleep.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you could be selling 24/7.
Love that passive income.
And for money needed, he gives it 5 stars.
Wow.
Because you can start with literally nothing.
You can?
Yeah, if you're selling on commission.
Yeah.
And then for ease of making $100 a week,
Uh-huh.
another 5 stars.
Wow. So this is a great one if you're just starting
It's
out.
super accessible,
Low risk.
low risk, high reward potentially.
I love it.
It's a really good one.
Okay. Let's talk about Tilbury's fourth side hustle,
Okay, hit me.
the stock market.
Ooh, getting into invest.
This is one where he presents it not just as an option,
Right.
but almost like a necessity.
I agree.
He really emphasizes that inflation is a silent wealth killer.
It is.
Over the past 60 years, it's averaged a loss of 3.8% each year.
Yeah, if your money isn't growing faster than inflation, you're actually losing money.
It's kind of scary when you think about it like that.
Yeah, you got to stay ahead.
You do.
And Tilbury does a great job of explaining stocks and shares simply.
Right.
So he says you can make money in 2 ways,
Okay.
through increases in the stock price
Okay.
or through dividends,
Dividend.
which are regular payments from the company to the shareholders.
Got it.
So, like, you're getting paid just for owning the stock.
Nice.
It's a nice little bonus.
And I love the story that he tells about his son's experiment.
Oh, yeah.
His son decided to invest £5 a day instead of buying coffee.
Okay.
And in just over a year, he made an 18% return.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
What a good lesson.
It really shows the power of consistency and compound interest.
The magic of compound interest.
And Tilbury recommends using apps like Trading 212.
Yeah,
They're really user-friendly.
they are.
And they have a cool feature called Pies.
Pies.
Have you heard of this?
I have.
Okay.
It's a really cool way to build a diversified investment portfolio.
Okay.
Basically, you're slicing up a pie
Okay.
and you allocate portions of your investment to different stocks or funds.
So you're spreading the risk.
Yeah, exactly, based on your risk tolerance and your investment goals.
And the app even lets you see potential earnings based on historical data.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like having a personalized investment roadmap.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's super cool.
Okay, so where does the stock market land on Tilbury's ranking scale?
Okay, so he gives it 5 stars for time commitment and money needed.
Wow.
Because you can manage everything from your phone.
Right.
And you can start with small amounts.
Yeah.
He does give it a slightly lower rating for ease of making $100 a week at first.
Yeah.
Because investments take time
Right.
to grow significantly.
It's a long game.
Yeah, exactly. But he really emphasizes starting early.
Right.
So you can benefit from that compound interest.
The earlier, the better.
Exactly. It's like planting a seed.
And letting it grow.
Let it grow.
Okay, so Tilbury's 5th side hustle is real estate.
Okay.
And he starts off by admitting he regretted buying his first rental property
Oh, no.
because it needed so much more work than he anticipated.
It's a good reminder that real estate investing can be challenging,
Yeah.
especially if you're not prepared.
But here's the twist. The property ended up doubling in value,
Oh, wow.
and it gave him steady income for years.
See, sometimes those initial challenges can lead to big rewards.
Sometimes they do.
They do.
And Tilbury knows that buying property is a big step.
Yeah.
So he suggests an alternative: deal sourcing.
Deal sourcing.
Yeah.
So you're getting into real estate without actually owning the property.
Okay.
Tilbury outlines 3 steps.
Let's hear them.
First, educate yourself about the market.
Okay.
Then network with real estate
No,
professionals.
like those connections.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then actively look for those undervalued properties or motivated sellers.
So you're like a matchmaker, connecting investors with good deals.
Exactly. And you get paid a finder's fee for your efforts.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
What does Tilbury's ranking system say about deal sourcing?
Okay, so for time commitment, he gives it 3 stars.
Okay.
Finding those deals does take work.
Yeah.
But for money needed, he gives it 5 stars.
Because you don't need any upfront capital.
No upfront capital.
That's great.
So you're gaining experience, building connections, and potentially making really good money.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to side hustle number 6, commercial real estate.
Okay, so he's moving on from residential.
Yeah, Tilbury says he explored this to boost his cash flow
Okay.
because commercial properties like warehouses tend to have higher rental incomes.
Makes sense.
But he does acknowledge that they might not appreciate in value as fast as residential
Oh,
properties.
so there's a trade-off there.
Yeah, higher income, but maybe less long-term capital appreciation.
It depends what you're looking for.
It does.
Yeah.
So where does commercial real estate land on Tilbury's ranking scale?
Okay. For time commitment, he gives it 3 stars.
Okay.
Because once you have tenants in place, it's pretty hands-off.
Yeah.
But the initial setup can be time-consuming.
Right.
Finding the right property, negotiating those leases.
Okay.
For money needed, he gives it a 1-star rating.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it typically requires a significant upfront investment.
Okay.
But he does mention financing options and partnerships
Right, yeah.
as potential solutions.
Okay. So maybe not for the faint of heart.
Not for the faint of heart.
But if you have the capital and that entrepreneurial spirit,
What can be a really good source of passive income?
that's the dream.
That is the dream.
Okay.
Real.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's 6 side hustles down.
6 down, 1 to go.
1 to go.
Amazing. And Tilbury saved a big one for last.
What is it?
Building a personal brand.
Okay, so tapping into that digital world.
Yeah. I love how he draws a parallel between the old idea of fame.
You know, being on TV or in movies.
Uh-huh.
And the accessibility of building a personal brand now through social media.
Yeah, it's so much easier to reach people now.
Right.
Yeah.
You just need a smartphone and a bit of know-how.
And you can share your expertise.
Yeah, connect with people all over the world.
Build a following.
It's like everyone can be an influencer now.
It is.
And Tilbury highlights the appeal purpose,
Yeah.
authority, income,
Freedom
freedom,
and that direct connection with your audience.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
He built his own successful brand this way.
He did.
Yeah, by sharing his knowledge and experience. And he stresses it wasn't even about the money at first.
That's so great.
Yeah, he genuinely wanted to help people.
It shows. You can feel that authenticity.
Yeah, that passion that comes through makes it much more engaging.
Okay, so let's talk strategy. How does he suggest we go about building a personal brand?
Okay, he breaks it down into 3 key steps. Step 1 is research.
Right.
You need to define your niche and your message.
Right. Yeah, what are you passionate about? What are your skills?
Yeah.
What can you offer that's unique?
I love that.
Tilbury's example is he focuses on personal finance and side hustles
Makes sense.
with a message of empowering the next generation.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so step 1 is knowing yourself
Exactly.
and who you're speaking to.
And who you want to reach.
Yeah.
Consistency is key.
Right.
If you're